It's time for my final 2026 World Cup predictions. We're less than a couple of weeks away from the tournament, and honestly, I'm feeling the World Cup fever already. The hype is here. The most prestigious tournament in football, and there are so many storylines. Can Argentina and Messi go back to back? Can Ronaldo and Portugal win their first ever World Cup? Can Neymar deliver for Brazil one last time? Will football come home to England? There's even Spain and France chasing World Cup glory. I mean, this is going to be epic, and I'm gonna try and predict it all. Not just that, my track record of predicting these big tournaments has been absolutely useless.
I feel like Arsenal are gonna win this game.
6 hours later.
Gabriel.
But hey, at some point, I'm bound to get it all right. And maybe 2026 is the one. Now, we're going to be predicting the entire tournament from the group stages to the knockouts. And also, I'll be making predictions for the Golden Ball winner, the Golden Glove winner, flop of the tournament, and of course, best young player too. But let's start with the group stages. And Group A is probably one of the most open groups there is. Mexico, South Korea, South Africa, and Czech Republic. I mean, how do you even split all of these teams? Now, I do feel like since Mexico are the host nation, they're gonna have the fans' backing, and we know in international football how big of a part that plays. I think they will go through, but not as the group winners. That, I have a feeling it's gonna be South Korea. I feel going into the World Cup, a lot of people underestimate Asian teams, but trust me guys, they have improved a lot. In fact, South Korea have Kim Min-jae. Of course, Heung-min Son is gonna be playing his final World Cup, and I think he's still good. So I'm just gonna go with South Korea to top the group, but I will go with Mexico to go through and finish second. And that means Czech Republic. Honestly, I'm just gonna go with them finishing third. They had to go through 2 penalty shootouts to get to the World Cup, and I'm not sure if they have that good of a squad overall, but I do think it's better than South Africa, who I'm putting at last. I know this is gonna hurt a lot of South African viewers, but I just feel there's just not enough quality, and they're one of the only teams in this World Cup who have never gone past the group stage, I think, and I don't think that's gonna change. Now, Czech Republic still can go through. We'll be looking at all the other third place teams later, but for now, let's go to Group B, and again, we have another host nation here. In Canada, there's Switzerland, who I think are one of the dark horses for this tournament. Qatar is kind of meh. Bosnia as well, I mean, okay. To be fair, Bosnia did knock out Italy. That'll give them a lot of confidence. But still, going in a World Cup, it's completely different. I do feel with the core Switzerland have, Granit Xhaka, strong defenders like Akanji, and as a unit, they're really good. I think Switzerland are going to walk this group. They will top it. Now, for the second spot is where I'm confused. Do I put Canada or Bosnia? I'm hearing that Alphonso Davies has some injury concerns, and also, here's a fun fact. Canada have never won a World Cup game before. I mean, they've only played in like 2 World Cups, but I think it does count for something. That's why I'm gonna give this one to Bosnia. Canada finishing third as a home nation is kind of rough, but maybe they'll go through as a third place team. But yeah, Qatar, I feel they're gonna be at the bottom. Heading into Group C, and this is where things get spicy, because we've got a favorite to win the entire tournament. Brazil, 5-time World Cup winners. Neymar's last chance at World Cup glory. And you've got Morocco as well. They won the African Cup of Nations, although that was mired in a lot of controversy. Scotland as well is an interesting team with McTominay, and I feel like Haiti's gonna just be the punching bag in this group. The choice I'm having to make right now though is who do I put as the group winner? But to be fair, historically Brazil do end up normally topping the group. It's the knockouts where they always get a bit of bad luck, at least recently. So I will stick with Brazil to top the group, Morocco to finish second, Scotland in third, and Haiti dead last. Now Group D is again a pretty open group with USA, home nation, Paraguay as well, Australia, Turkey. Now honestly, I've been following Turkey lately, and they're very impressive. Arda Güler is just insane. In fact, I would say he's going to be a candidate for Young Player of the Tournament. Watch out for Güler, and that's why I feel like Turkey are going to walk this group. They will top it. A dark horse for this tournament if the draw goes their way. Second, I will say USA, Pochettino as the coach, home nation, and I feel like they do have a decent squad. Pulisic is there, McKennie. Between Paraguay and Australia, I feel like Australia might just edge it. I don't think Paraguay are that strong of a team. Now, heading into Group E, this is where we could see a serious upset. I know on the surface it looks like Germany are the absolute favorites, but don't sleep on Ecuador. They were brilliant throughout the World Cup qualifying, finishing even above Brazil. And just look at the defensive players they've got. William Kylian Pacho, who just won the Champions League for PSG, Hincapié, who was also playing in that very same final, and then Moises Caicedo to sit above them. It's a really strong core defense that could frustrate, I feel, any team in the world. And then you've got Ivory Coast, who've also got an incredible squad led by Kessie, Amad Diallo, Sangare. They were also brilliant in the World Cup qualifying. And that is why I feel in this group, we gotta go for an upset. I feel Ecuador's gonna top it. Ivory Coast is gonna finish second. I know it's controversial, but I think Germany finished third and Curacao last. I just don't feel like Germany, they're that good anymore. They crashed out in 22 in the group. They crashed out in 2018. And I don't see any players coming in that's gonna change that. We're heading into Group F. And this is where there's a team I really feel is gonna do extremely well at this World Cup. Japan. I feel like Japan are a team that don't have that many big names. Maybe now they do, like Takefusa Kubo, Ritsu Doan, Mitoma, but I think he's injured for the World Cup. But it's not about the names. It's about the football they play. Extremely fast-paced, really good on the transition. Honestly, they're one of the most fun teams to watch. And last few World Cups, we've been seeing them just get better and better, knocking out big teams. And I think they're going to shine again. I'm going with Japan to top this group. Of course, I do feel like Netherlands have enough quality to finish second, but this time around, I don't know how far they'll go. Their midfield is probably the only thing giving them hope because they've got Renders, Frankie de Jong, Gravenberch as well, but I worry for where the goals are coming from. We'll go with Sweden, I guess, in third. I don't think Tunisia are that bad of a side, but I think, yeah, these three teams are quite better, so this is how I'm going to go with. And heading into Group G, this is probably like one of the easiest groups to predict. We've got Iran, Egypt, New Zealand. Belgium actually have a good squad. Kevin De Bruyne's final World Cup, most likely. Courtois in net. But yeah, they always seem to come to the World Cup with a solid squad, but at some point they just end up bottling. I do feel like, though, that this group is too easy for them. They will top it. Egypt will easily finish second because both Iran and New Zealand, I don't think they're that good. I will go with New Zealand finishing third and Iran in fourth, but I just don't think both these teams are going to go through anyways. Now we've got Group H, and there's Spain, Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, and Capo Verde. Spain, of course, probably the biggest favorite for this World Cup. Lamine Yamal, I don't know how fit he is, but I think he should be back ready to go from the first World Cup game itself. Nico Williams on the other side. You've got Pedri, Gavi, Rodri in the midfield. At the back, the defense looks solid as well. I think they easily top this group, and actually, I feel like Lamine might be a contender to win the World Cup Golden Ball as well. Actually, since he's 18, he might also win the Young Player of the tournament, but I don't think they'll give both to him. But yeah, second in this group, I'll go with Bielsa's Uruguay. This time around, I feel like the situation is flipped. They've got a much better defense and not many big names in the attack. No Suarez, no Cavani. That's why I don't think they'll be a threat to Spain finishing first in this group. We'll go with Saudi Arabia third and Capo Verde finishing fourth. And now we've got Group I, which I do think is like one of the toughest groups where there is a chance we could see an upset. Because Senegal is solid, Norway is incredibly tough, and Iraq kind of makes this a three-team group. But yeah, we could easily see Norway or Senegal top it, because one game France slip up and they'll be in a mess. But I still feel like France, the quality they've got, Mbappe, Dembele, Olise, a solid defense with Saliba, Upamecano, and this time they've got an upgraded goalkeeper in Maignan as well. I think France are gonna top it. And I also feel like in this group, we'll see the two contenders for the Golden Boot. I feel like Mbappe has to be a big contender, as well as Erling Haaland from Norway. And I feel like they're gonna have a solid World Cup as well. They're a dark horse, they've got a really good team, and they've been really good in the World Cup qualifying. I will put Senegal in third, but that's not because I don't think they're a good team. It's just because it's such a tough group. Heading now into Group J, we've got Argentina, again one of the favorites for this tournament, the defending champions, and also the international run they've been on. This Argentina team over the last 5 years, all they've known to do is to win, and I feel like that does count for something. But again, I do feel like they're super reliant on Messi producing magic, and at the age of 39, I'm not sure how much he can do, but I think it will be enough to get through the group stages at least, so I will go Argentina to top the group. Now, between Austria and Algeria, I was thinking of going Austria to finish second because they've got a decent team. But then I just saw Algeria play really well against Netherlands last night, and I feel like they've got an underrated team. Maybe they can go far, and that's why I'm going Algeria second, Austria third, and Jordan getting knocked out. So that's right, boys. Messi's dream of going back-to-back is still alive. But what about Ronaldo's dream of finally delivering in a World Cup? Portugal, Colombia, Uzbekistan, and Congo. And I feel this is also a very interesting group. Congo is a team team that could easily pull off an upset. Not too sure about Uzbekistan. Let's assume that they'll just get destroyed in this group. But if Congo gets a draw against Portugal, I feel like Colombia could top this group because they've got a decent team as well. But I do feel like the momentum Portugal are going into this World Cup with. Look at their midfield. Bruno Fernandes, best player in the Premier League. João Neves and Vitinha just won the Champions League. Nuno Mendes as well. I feel like that is going to be enough for Portugal to win this group, but I'm not sure if Ronaldo is going to be the star. In fact, I feel like Portugal's chances kind of depend on Ronaldo's ego. Is Ronaldo going to be willing to play for the team, sacrificing his personal glory? Because if he does, this Portugal team has the quality to go really far. And to be honest, I feel like somebody just needs to tell this to Ronaldo, because if he wins the World Cup with Portugal and he doesn't score a single goal, he'll still get a lot of credit. So yeah, I'm really keen to see how Roberto Martinez manages this situation with Ronaldo. Is he just going to play him every game, 90 minutes, try and get him the goals? Or is he going to force Ronaldo to be a team player? I want you guys to let me know in the comments as well. And I know Ronaldo fans are going to be crying in the comments. They're going to say that, oh, he's going to win the Golden Boot, this and that. Guys, come on. It's the freaking World Cup. Be realistic. But yep, I will say Colombia finished second, Congo finished third, and Uzbekistan last. And heading into Group L is football coming home. And to be honest, with Thomas Tuchel, I am excited about England's chances. Another Golden Boot contender in Harry Kane. Probably a contender for the Golden Ball as well if England go far. They've got a solid midfield with Declan Rice, Bellingham. I mean, imagine they left out Cole Palmer. That's how deep the England squad is. And then you've got Harry Kane, who's in the form of his life. He wants a Ballon d'Or as well. He knows only a World Cup can get him that. But again, it's England. You never know what to expect from them, especially in the knockouts. But I will say they will top the group. Croatia in the last two World Cups, final and then semi-final. And I think they're going to use that experience to finish second. We'll go with Ghana in third position and then Panama to finish at the end. And that is the group stages of the World Cup wrapped up. Before we get to the knockouts, we got to choose the 8 best third place teams. We will go with Germany because I don't think they're going to concede that many goals. Czech Republic as well because their group is pretty even. Canada too. Feel like Australia will also sneak by. Senegal as well. Let's give it to Austria. Maybe Sweden, and then we'll wrap it up with Congo. And now we get into the serious business of the World Cup, where the tournament is gonna come alive. The round of 32. And let's start with Mexico versus Bosnia. I feel like Mexico have gotten lucky with the draw here, and that's why I'm saying they go to the round of 16. Then we've got Ecuador and Australia. And again, I'm telling you, Ecuador, they're gonna have a solid World Cup. We already spoke about them. I feel they're gonna go through. And now is where we have our first unbelievably exciting World Cup game. Japan versus Morocco. Knockout. Don't underestimate Japan, bro. They're gonna go through, in my opinion. We're getting Brazil versus Netherlands as well. And you know what, boys? Don't think this Brazil squad is that good overall. I feel like they're gonna be crashing out. And this is also what I'm gonna be giving the flop of the tournament award, kind of to Neymar, just because he does not have the legs anymore. So yeah, Brazil is a team I think will crash out at some point, at least in this World Cup. In this prediction, it's the round of 32. But let's move on. France, Sweden. Gotta go with France. They're just too good in terms of individual quality. Ivory Coast versus Norway. We'll continue the run Norway's on, pushing Haaland's odds of having, of course, the Golden Boot. Next up, we've got South Korea and Germany. It will be super tight, but I'll give this one to Germany only just. England versus Congo is gonna be a one-way affair. I can sense Harry Kane scoring a lot of goals. So far, I think he'd be my Golden Boot winner. But let's see how the draw progresses. Turkey, Canada, we're going to give it to Goulet. Belgium as well, I think they go through. Colombia and Croatia. I feel like after 2 successive World Cup campaigns, it's finally time for Croatia to end their run. I think Colombia pipped them. Spain, Algeria, Spain are going to dominate. We'll also have Switzerland beat Austria. And Argentina, Uruguay. I feel like Argentina will just about get through. All of it depends on how good Messi still is, because that's just a question mark because of his injury. And off we go to Portugal versus Senegal. Give it to Portugal just because of their midfield. And USA, Egypt, we'll just give it to the home nation. And now round of 16. Oh, the spicy games that we have. Ecuador, France. If we're gonna see an upset against France, Ecuador could be the team that gives it. Not possible for me, so France go through. Japan against Mexico. I'm betting on a really solid Japanese run. It's about time. Whoa, Netherlands, Norway. Netherlands fresh after knocking Brazil out, but I'm gonna give this one to Norway. Big upset. Let's go. Germany versus England will be such a good game, but I feel like I just don't see enough of Germany. I'm gonna still keep repping England here. Ooh, Colombia, Spain. That's gonna be spicy, but we will still stick with Spain. This is where Colombia bow out. I feel like Spain, especially if Lamine is fit, I don't know if many teams can compete with that. Belgium versus versus Turkey. I said like Turkey are one of the dark horses, man, with Goulet. Kind of reminds me of what James did for Colombia back in 2014. I'm predicting Goulet to do something similar. Argentina versus USA is just going to be a cakewalk, I feel, for Argentina. Switzerland, Portugal could be interesting, but Portugal did knock them out in the last World Cup without Ronaldo. I feel like Ronaldo this time around, he will get a knockout goal in the World Cup. So these are the quarterfinalists I've picked at the World Cup. And you know what? My prediction is kind of crazy here because a lot of big teams have been eliminated. But now is where I feel like the favorites are going to storm through. Because don't forget, guys, there have been only 8 nations to have ever won the World Cup. And they're all big countries with a lot of history. And that does matter in a competition like this. So I think France are going to get through Japan. Spain, Turkey, it's time for Goulet to bow out. Norway, England, going to go with England. And now, probably the quarterfinal that I feel like a lot of you guys have been waiting to see me predict. Argentina versus Portugal. I feel like Portugal are going to nick this game. And that's also because it is so tough for a team to go back-to-back in the World Cup. Only like Brazil has, I think, done it. And I don't think Argentina this time around have the legs to do it. I would love to be proven wrong because Lionel Scaloni is one of the greatest international managers, but I just feel like he does not have the squad, the fitness this time around mostly. And tell you what, if Argentina do go through, Argentina versus England would be historic. We're gonna stick with Portugal. But saying that, boys, this is where I end Ronaldo's dream run. No World Cup for him, because I think this England team is too good. I think England go through to a World Cup final. On the other side, France have been to back-to-back World Cup finals, but this is where they bow out. I'm going Spain, and I will go Spain to win the World Cup against England. I just feel like they've got the best team and the best chemistry. The Lamine Yamal factor, because let's be honest, going into this World Cup, I do think he's the best individual player. That's why I feel he's going to take home the World Cup Golden Ball. Harry Kane is going to take home the Golden Boot. I'm going to give Goulet the best young player. And the flop of the tournament, you can give it to like Neymar probably. Or Vinny Jr. even, because Brazil, I've predicted them to go out really early. But let me know your crazy predictions for this upcoming World Cup. I'll make sure to do another video right after the World Cup final to just react to my predictions. Because historically, I've gotten these wrong way too many times. But let's see what happens. One thing's for sure though, I couldn't be more excited for a World Cup. My body is ready for a month of insane football.